Hey everyone, today I'm responding to requests and I'm doing an Emirates standard hairstyle tutorial. Before we get into it, I want to just talk about a quick brief thing, which is hair color. With Emirates, no two-tone hairstyles are accepted, and I know what you're thinking. I very obviously have two hair colors, and that is because I've been growing my hair out to its natural color for 2 years now. So you can work with it, you can hide the two colors that you have, but if you can't successfully hide it, if it is really obvious in the 3 standard hairstyles that I'm going to be showing you, unfortunately you're going to be asked to change your hair color. So follow me and I'll do my best to describe what it is that you can do if you're facing that problem with two tones. Another thing I want to discuss really quickly is bangs and a fringe. That is totally fine with Emirates as long as it doesn't exceed the length of your eyebrows, so you can't actually have it in your face or in your eyes. And if you have kind of layered hair at the front, the best thing for you to do is actually secure it back with a black Alice band like this one here. So this is the one I got to demonstrate to you. Obviously my hair is far too long, I could never actually use this. This typically is used by girls who have such short hair that it doesn't touch the collar, which is the only acceptable short hairstyle for women. So your hair must be so short that when wearing the Emirates jacket or the Emirates shirt, your hair doesn't touch the collar at all. And a new change in the Emirates grooming standards is that no angled bobs are now acceptable, and I like to refer to that as the Victoria Beckham bob. It's no longer acceptable. Once upon a time it was a bit of a grey area and you could get away with it. Now, however, it has been phased out and you must have a clean cut the same length the whole way around your neck. So this is how you would secure your hair if you had really short hair. Obviously my hair is far too long, so I could never wear it like this, but you could just pull it back like so and your hair would sit kind of here. So I got that for demonstrating to you. However, my hair is far too long, I could never actually use that. So I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to demonstrate the donut, the braid and the French roll to you. Please don't hesitate to ask me any questions. A lot of you have been writing to me on Facebook and you've been saying, I'm so sorry to bother you, and that's lovely, but please don't apologize. I love hearing from you. I will always respond to you. It may take me a day or two. If that's the case, it's just because I'm off the grid at the moment. So yeah, definitely write to me, ask me your questions, and I'm going to post a photo of everything that I used today on my Instagram so you can pop over there and take a look. Alright, let's get into it.
I'm going to start off with the donut today. I'm smoothing my hair back with a comb and securing it low at the back of my head in a low ponytail. I just choose an elastic and loop that through, and then I'm going to reach for my hair donut or a synthetic netting hairpiece. You can find them at most drugstores, pharmacies, hair shops. Mine is dark brown because that's the colour of my natural hair, and I'm just smoothing out the hair around that hairpiece. Don't have to be too particular with it at this stage because you can go ahead and fix that up later. I just secure that with another hair elastic, and then with the excess hair I'm just securing that with hairpins around the hairpiece. If you have shorter hair than I do, you won't obviously have as much hair that needs to be secured, but for me I just continue to wrap around and around, and don't worry about the hair that is being pinned there because you can go ahead and disguise that later on with a hair scrunchie. So once I've pinned all of that excess hair in place, I take a hairnet, which is compulsory with the donut style hairdo because you want to have all of those hairs pinned in place, and this actually creates a nice smooth look over the donut as well. So I pin that from the right and from the left at the top of the donut, and then I take the excess part of that hairnet and just wrap it underneath. If you're using a smaller hairnet, you won't have any excess hairnet to secure. Now I take the Emirates red scrunchie. If you're practicing this hairstyle at home, you can use any scrunchie to cover up that excess hair, and then I put a bit of hairspray over to secure any flyaways and then just run a comb through that lightly. And then I just put one pin above each ear which holds those strands of hair that are often a bit wispy around the face, just holds those down in place and gives a really nice clean cut crisp look. So that's the completed look of the donut from the front, and then of course from the back, and it's very simple and it takes about 5 minutes to do. So we'll be moving on to the braid. I chose to do an inside out French braid. You can also do a regular braid, which is where the braid actually occurs underneath the hair, which is folded in. The style that I'm doing, I split the hair into 3 from the top, and then I just continue adding extra hair from the outside, and I fold that hair in up underneath rather than over the top. So I take hair from the left, I wrap it underneath the centerpiece, and then I take hair from the right and wrap it underneath the centerpiece, and that's what creates the braid on top of your head running down. So if this demonstration is either too fast or too complicated to follow, I can definitely provide you with another tutorial which is just focusing on this hairstyle, and I can also show you the regular braid as well if that's what you want to see. So I'm just continuing that braid, running it down the center of my head, adding extra hair, trying to keep it fairly even from the right and from the left, but it all works out in the wash at the bottom, so you don't need to be too careful with it at this stage. And don't worry about any bubbles or any parts that look a bit messy and untidy at this stage, because we can go ahead later and smooth those out. So my hair is quite long now, but this hairstyle works perfectly fine. No matter how long or short your hair is, you can just still continue to pin it up underneath. The braid obviously can't run down the back of between your shoulders. It needs to be pinned and secured up underneath. So if you have shorter hair than mine, it actually is much easier to secure, but if you do have long hair, it's also fine. You just want to do where I am about now, you want to do those crossovers a bit looser than what you were securing at the top, because these parts is what's going to allow the extra space for you to pin the excess hair. So I'm just plaiting now, plaiting that remainder hair down the back, and then I secure it with a hair elastic. And when I do come to finally securing that, I just leave the last little loop of hair in, because that helps to disguise any long strands of hair that could pop out when you're pinning it underneath. So I just leave it looped like so, and then I go ahead and pop it underneath those looser last connections in the braid, and I just pin with hairpins. Don't forget to pop over to Instagram, follow me at Lisa Single, and you can see all of the products that I used to create all 3 hairstyles today. So I'm just pinning this excess hair in place, and any of those blonde bits that you see just need to be disguised so that it looks like you just have the one tone hair color. If obviously you don't have any more than one tone, this hairstyle is going to look much more uniform and nice and neat and tidy. So I'm just doing those final pins now, smoothing it out, going ahead with a bit more hairspray, and then combing through it with my fingers, and which places down any flyaways that you have. So that is the braid. This is an inside out French braid. But a regular braid is also fine. You just want to have all of that excess hair tucked in underneath. So we're moving on to the final hairstyle, which is for long hair for Emirates. It is the French roll. Now, I've never claimed to be any good at this hairstyle. I actually find it quite difficult. My hair is fine and has no volume at all. If you have thick, coarse hair, this hairstyle is much easier. I wrap it around at the top of my head, fold it underneath itself, and then I secure with a hair comb. This is a metal bronze or blonde coloured hair comb. Obviously, if I ever did this hairstyle now, which I don't tend to do, I would need to go and purchase a dark brown hairpin, because this one actually doesn't match my hair colour, and that needs to be fixed if you were to go ahead and wear this hairstyle with Emirates. It must match your natural hairstyle. I'm just tidying up any of those loose parts and pinning up underneath. You don't want to have the French roll completely covered in hairpins. You just want to work ahead and cover any of those loose bits that are popping out. Securing with some hairspray, combing through with my fingers to pop down any of those flyaways, and that completes the French roll. I hope that it wasn't too difficult for you to follow. That is the 3 Emirates hairstyles which all meet the image and uniform standards: the French braid, the donut, and the French roll. Thanks guys, and I will see you soon.